And when something's strange in our studio, who are we going to call? Ghostbuster Ernie Hudson, whose hand is now rocking the cradle in a mega hit film. And
just a regular farm mom.
But I was walking...
Milked a cow, did something to a pig, and then she came to work.
Rich, I was walking into the kitchen, and we have a set of double doors on a room there. And I mean, the wind, we had bolts, everything, the wind just blew the whole thing right open. I couldn't believe it.
Well, you know, I don't know what it is about living in a New York apartment house, but I guess it's the curvature, the vacuity, and right for, and loves this kind of a thriller, you know. It's the kind that scares you all through the movie, and then big climactic endings and so on. But it has to do with a yuppie couple who take in a nanny. She's having her second baby, and it's time for a nanny, so the nanny comes in. But this is a nanny bent on revenge.
Nothing worse.
But I must tell you, all I thought about, because you see, a nanny can become a part of your life very easily. And as I said yesterday, one day can either snap, or maybe she takes her time, and she waits, and what I want to do, because all I thought about was you last night.
Yeah, and your concern for me.
Yes, and my concern for you. I feel like I should ask you a few questions. Did your nanny come from a fully licensed, accredited nanny agency?
No.
Okay, now see, if you see this movie, you'll see what I'm driving at. Did your nanny just show up one day for something more mundane than, you know, babysitting your child, the most important thing in your life? Was the nanny there for some other reason than that?
Yes.
Was it really important now in the retrospect of things? Was there an importance attached to why the nanny showed up?
No.
Could you tell us why the nanny came into your life to begin with?
No. Yes, I'll tell you. It was years ago, Regis. We'd first moved up to the country. You and I were going off to Disney World. We just got Chardonnay as a puppy. And I was saying to you on this show one day, I don't know what I'm going to do. We've got a puppy. We live out in the country now. We don't have anybody to house sit our puppy. Next thing you know, neener nanny, neener nanny, neener nanny. Get a beautiful note in our mailbox. She lives around the corner from us.
She came to babysit your dogs.
Dog. We only had Chard then.
Dog for a weekend and stayed with you.
3.5 years now.
She came. Does she ever borrow your jewelry?
I give her jewelry.
Does she ever use your perfume?
No. What are you getting at?
Very, because this is a nanny on the breaking point. Your nanny is on the breaking point, and any minute you will hear, "Neener nanny, neener nanny." I'm telling you right now, get rid of her.
I tried to talk her into last night.
All right, acting, as you know, is a risky business, and for some it's truly a calling. That's what it was for Ernie Hudson. He left a very secure job just to pursue a dream, and it paid off.
He wasn't happy.
That's right. Best known for his role as a Ghostbuster in Ghostbusters 1 and 2, which were enormous hits. And now he's starring in a film that's #1 at the box office for the last several weeks. Here he is, from the hand who rocks the cradle, Ernie Hudson.
Something strange in the neighborhood.
Hi, Ernie. How you doing? Have a seat, Ernie. I went last night, really, to see the movie, to see what it was all about, and to watch you. And boy, I tell you, you were absolutely terrific. It was a meaty role for you, too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very different. It was something I hadn't done before.
Yeah.
And the character was very different in a lot of ways from what I am and how I see myself. So it was a good acting.
Is he mentally retarded, this gentleman?
Well, not retarded. They make that a point, right?
Yeah, well,
mentally disadvantaged?
He's mentally disabled. Retarded is not really a good word, because there's so many levels of retardation.
Course. Sure.
Yeah. But he has his problems, and but you played it so delicately, you know. You must have done research on this.
Yeah, I did. You know, when I first read the script, and I wasn't up for the part, and I really sort of campaigned for it, I went in and I tried to get them to see me in the role, because it was not written for a black actor. I think the studio might have felt that if it wasn't done right, Either it could be very embarrassing to people who are mentally disabled, or you can make some very negative statements about black men in general.
Racial.
So you had to play the guy, I felt, as a person. And I visited a lot of the homes for the mentally disabled. I went to a lot of the dances that they have.
Where was this, Ernie?
In Riverside County, they have a dance every Friday night for people who come from all over, hundreds of them.
Really?
And it was very, very exciting going there. And I found that there are a lot of people, thousands, who do have problems that we somehow don't see because we have a way of sort of, you know, out of sight, out of mind. And I tried to find that common denominator that they all have, no matter what level of disability.
And what is that?
You know what it is? I think when I went to the first dance, they all came over to me and they shook my hand and was so happy to see me and they hugged me, and I thought it was because I was in Ghostbusters. And then I noticed they did it to everybody. It had nothing to do with it. They have this enormous capacity to give love and to want to be a part of. And that's what the movie, in a lot of ways, is about.
He cares very much for this family. You're the gardener or the caretaker?
Yeah, they hired me to come and build a fence, and then he becomes a part of the family. And they give him a chance to make a contribution. And he feels, he makes a commitment. And he has a moral code, and that's why I wanted to play him. He has there's an honesty about the character that he doesn't violate. And I wanted to do that. I wanted to have a chance to play that.
Well, you played it beautifully. It was terrific. And I enjoyed the movie. And everybody loves a good scare. And I've had some fun with Kathy. Now, you've got a family.
Yes.
You have a nanny?
Yeah, we have yeah, we do. You know, it's very hard now, I think, when both people have things to do, you have to have help.
Sure,
it's very hard raising a family.
So, have you checked out your nanny?
Yeah, my wife is very good about that. She definitely checks. But we have a lady, Sherry, who is very good with the kids, and she's with us a couple days a week. I don't think my wife would want to have anybody 5 days a week. And I'm very careful about the influences. I mean, since they're at that stage, right now they're 2 and 4, and it's very formative. And that influence, I want to come from me and my wife.
Sure.
And
This is the 4th, isn't it?
you have 4 sons in all.
No, yeah, 4
sons.
But also 4 nannies.
Yeah, I've had 4 nannies over the years, yeah.
Kind of picky, aren't you, Ernie?
Well, you know, if there's a problem, or if you think there's a problem, then that's it.
So you saw some problems there, see?
Well,
some people,
yes.
Some people never see a problem with their nannies until it's nanny too late.
Well, I think some people don't look. Some people don't look.
Ernie, some people
And so, sometimes the kids will say, you know, there's a problem. They say, oh, don't worry about it. They believe the nanny. Yeah. You gotta buy into the kids.
How many phone calls have I had from Cody saying, Uncle Regis, there's a problem? Cody, please.
Yeah, I can't deal with that.
Can't deal with it. I'm just the uncle.
And the kid's saying, get rid of her, get her out of here, and you got.
All kidding aside, she got very, very lucky.
Yeah.
She has a terrific lady. But so you had 4 of them.
Yes. And it's not so much that they're a nanny or whatever. It's the person. You know, the particular person in this movie is not a very balanced person. I mean, she has a problem. It doesn't matter if she was a nanny or anything else. She has a problem. And if you find someone who's very good, and the movie deals with, I think, a little bit of that. The people who we trust, we bring into our lives.
And nothing's more precious to you than your child.
We trust our most valued possessions with, and we don't check them out. Sometimes people who we least expect a contribution to come from, it comes from. Maybe they don't look like us, but it's...
Well, you know, the statistics you hear about these days regarding child abuse are so frightening and so discouraging to think that maybe 1 out of 3 children will be abused, and usually it's by someone that the child knows and trusts. I mean, that is just so disgusting to me, I can't even bear it.
Yeah, that's very true. And not just from nannies, I mean, even from parents themselves.
No. We can't be too unfair to... A lot of good nannies out there.
Let's show a clip from the movie. Let me set this up. Now, you see, his character, Solomon, is really the first one in the family who sees something
something wrong.
Yeah, something wrong. And he's up there doing his chores and peeks into a window and sees the nanny doing something that nannies are not supposed to do. But this nanny has such a feeling against the woman, the mother, that she's trying to thwart the mother in doing what the mother usually does. Could I explain that all right?
Yes.
I hope. Here we go.
Emma, why don't you go on inside? I gotta talk to Solomon for a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Are you a retard?
No.
Did you like looking at me? Don't you like looking at me?
Well, I'm kind of disappointed in that clip. I don't think we played it all the way through.
No, they didn't.
Sorry about
And
that,
also
Ernie.
wasn't the one that Reach was trying to
Well,
set up,
what I was
right?
setting up was what happened immediately preceding that clip was he peeked in the window, and then the nanny was actually breastfeeding the baby,
Right.
so that the mother wouldn't have a chance at that.
Yeah.
Ernie, what has happened to you in between Ghostbusters and The Hand That Rocked the Cradle?
Well, after the first Ghostbusters, I did just about everything. In fact, I did everything that came up because I really wanted to work, and I thought, okay, this is great. I'm going to hit film, and now things are going to be different. And 5 years down the line, I wasn't happy with the way my career was going. After the second Ghostbusters, I thought, okay, I'll be selective now. And this is the first film that's come along that I've wanted to do. In fact, it's the only movie that's come along. And I get offered things that I really I just don't want to do. You know, I think we've sort of, well, we kind of swung toward the anti-hero so much that I'm not very happy with a lot of stuff.
Good for you. You see, it's a risky business, the business you're in.
It is.
And in the beginning, like you say, you took everything that came along, and then you waited, and I bet this role does more for your career than everything else that preceded.
Sure it will.
I hope so. It was a great film to be with a good group of actors.
Rebecca De Mornay looks wonderful in this.
She's incredible. She's
Enjoyed it very,
brilliant.
very much, and as we all know, #1 at the box office, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. And thanks so much, Ernie, for being here.
Thank you
so much.
We'll be right back with our guitar-playing Ray as Senior Weeks. Sensational Senior Week continues.
Tomorrow on Live from Doogie Howser, MD, actor